Oh, just listen to that 90s fabulous music right there. Welcome, Marky Marks. My name's Blake, and as always, I'm joined by the one, the only, Will Rawson. How you doing, sir?
I am feeling pretty good. We had a 2-hour snow delay at school. Beautiful outside. I love snow.
Love snow. The California boy loves snow.
Winter's actually my favorite season. I love snow.
That blows my mind. I don't mind it, but I didn't get any hours off. I was stuck reporting all school cancellations on my radio station today, so that's all I gotta do. That was fantastic. Too many schools couldn't make up their mind if they wanted to have school delayed or canceled, so that was fun.
Yeah.
but
all right, man.
All right, you ready? Okay.
I am ready to get this going.
All right, so let's talk a little bit, pretty much about FastLane. What did you think of FastLane, dude?
FastLane, not FatLane.
Not the Fat Lane.
However, I did notice on FastLane that there's a few guys that are getting a little, the Will Rawson underchin going on, getting a little fat, so we could call it FatLane, I guess.
Yeah.
But overall, FastLane, it started off slow. I was ready for the complaints, everybody. I was ready for all the ICW people to just really explode on it, just like they did with Royal Rumble. I wouldn't say it's a great pay-per-view, but I don't think it was nothing to complain about, especially for being free.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't bad for being free, and we got new tag team champions out of the deal.
We did. So I guess we're going to start with this match. It was Usos defending their championships against whatever name we want to say. I know Booker called him Kid Cesaro, but everybody's got a different name for him.
Yeah, I have no idea. I would almost go with Meme or Internet Cat, since that's all Tyson seems to wear on his trunks anymore. Or maybe Beats Audio, since they both came out with with headphones last night.
Right.
Not really getting that gimmick that they're trying to, go across, but whatever. It was interesting to see the tag titles change. It doesn't really surprise me though, because they could go into WrestleMania for a rematch and have their Hall of Fame daddy on his speech the night before say, "Go get 'em, Jimmy and Jay."
Yeah. True. I've kind of zoned out. I forgot about Rikishi getting announced into the Hall of Fame. So I can see that happening. I just don't want a bunch of rehash matches from Fastlane into WrestleMania. I don't know who they'll be defending those titles against at WrestleMania, but I do love the Tyson Kidd and Cesaro team. They work well. They have great double team moves. They're on cue. They're a really great team. I wish they had matching ring gear of some sort. I hate Tyson Kidd's ring gear. But I wish somehow they can get a little more of a team look now. They got the in-ring down. Now let's get the actual appearance of a team.
I agree, and a name would help. Matching gear would help. And I would almost say if you're going to have Natalya, let her kind of be a manager then, instead of just eye candy.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, that's me personally.
Yeah, but I do love the team. It was a solid match. We saw, the typical Uso spots plus, all the newer kind of team stuff from Kidd and Cesaro. I was really pleased with the match. 7 out of 10 easily. Something I thought was kind of interesting that Cesaro did a one-legged Cesaro swing.
Yeah.
Which looked kind of painful because the knee was kind of twisted and he only did like 3 or so rotations. That's probably why, but it was some news. new style. Everything was a little switched up, you know.
Yeah, I think he's still trying to find his groove. He knows how many people he has behind him. He has Steve Austin behind him and so many other people. I think he keeps trying to show Vince, look what I can do.
Yeah.
Which, for Vince, ring work is only maybe a third of the equation. And then you have one third charisma and the other third just mic ability.
Right.
And I think Cesaro is just completely awesomely talented, but he does need to find some kind of mic gimmick or something that makes Vince go, oh, and it can be terrible as long as it makes Vince take notice.
Yeah.
The speaking in several languages when he first got here didn't really work out for him, and then having an advocate with Paul Heyman, that kind of worked, but I guess somebody didn't like that. So I don't
Yeah, I
know.
don't know what happened there. But either way, it was a good match. Good that we got the belts on someone else because the Usos don't need them anymore. They've established themselves. Let the belts go to someone else. I don't know if the Usos will be competing for those belts again. Maybe we'll see like a three-way tag match. I don't know.
I don't know. I would love to see a ladder match at Mania, a ladder tag team match.
A tag ladder. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, and I mean it would be nice as much as we keep showing the old ladder tag team matches with Edge and Christian since the network started. That could be kind of a nice little throwaway as we talk a little bit more from FastLane into what we want to see in Mania. That would be something I'd want to see out of that match. Now we're going to talk about another match and then talk about what we would like to see out of Mania. Let's talk about that six-man tag and the surprise visit from Randy Orton.
Yes, we had basically Survivor Series 2.0 for the most part. We had Team Anti-Authority and Team Authority going at it. It was an okay match for me. I mean, we've seen it off and on for the last couple months. Good match. Again, probably 6 out of 10 maybe. We have the typical great Ziggler spots and other good stuff, but the best part of it was, of course, the Randy Orton return. He came out at the end of it, RKOs out of nowhere, sent Seth Rollins running to the back, which was great, by the way. Seth Rollins looked like he was about to pee himself. Just ran away all the way into the parking lot. He was out of there.
It was good reaction from Seth for sure, and it was awesome to kind of see the briefcase thrown out of the ring.
That briefcase, because I didn't get to watch this with you last night. I was really scared for a moment because the briefcase kind of plopped in the ring right behind Randy Orton as he was getting. I thought he was getting ready to do like an apron, second rope DDT.
Mm-hmm.
And he had no clue that briefcase was standing upright, like right behind him. And I was worried he was getting ready to drop back and just land right on top of that. I was like, oh my goodness, someone needs to kick the briefcase out of the way. Unfortunately, he didn't do the move, so he didn't have to worry about it. But, it was a close call.
I was right there with you because all my mind could flash back was to last year's WrestleMania where Orton fell on, or they broke the table and he landed on the monitor with the edge of his back.
Mm-hmm.
That's all my head went to because I'm like, oh no, not again. Which, of course, Randy didn't take any time off of after that, but gosh, that looked terrible last year. I just couldn't imagine the pain he was in. But all in all, it was nice to see Randy. We had a deal going where we weren't sure if it was going to be Randy or Sheamus that returned last night, and we got Randy.
We got Randy. We got another Sheamus promo, announcing his return. We don't know when, but he never showed up, but we did get Randy.
I think we'll see Sheamus tonight, and the only thing I can think to do with him now, and we'll talk about it a little bit, is with Daniel Bryan, but we'll talk about that later. Oh no, he's shaking his
Yeah.
head. He's
No.
shaking his head.
We'll talk about that later. But again, like you said, kind of we talked about that. I said when, yeah, we could have called it Fat Lane. Was it me? Or did Randy Orton just, his face looked a little more plumped, filled out, wasn't as chiseled, his cheeks weren't sunken in as
Uh-huh.
we usually have seen him. Looked, he was a little more round in the jaw.
Yeah, if you look at him right now, he is. He actually has kind of a double chin going on. Not that I have any room to speak whatsoever. I mean, he goes out there
He looks kind
shirtless.
of aged too. I mean, the forehead wrinkles and everything. He looks a little aged now.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if the time off was good for him. I know he did a lot of filming. I don't know how much he did, but it'll be interesting to see if we see something from Randy. But it does look like as we speak into Mania, it's going to be probably Seth versus Randy,
Hmm. Yeah,
and and
that's
and it'll
exactly
be
where
good.
they're going.
And I think that's fine. He's a good opponent for Seth, and Seth's a good opponent for him. Uh,
Right.
it'll kind of be a nothing match, but I mean nothing on the line rather, but it'll be a good
Yeah.
match.
Hmm.
Other than just revenge.
And now, what match is next from FastLane?
I love that we're enunciating like crazy now. There's a fast lane. Let's talk about
Fast.
the Dust Wars here.
All right. Oh, nice. I like that little coin. You should, make a trademark on that. The Dust Wars.
Hmm.
Well, obviously, we had a nice little Stardust. He came out with a little different ring gear, not the one piece anymore.
Yeah, which I wanted to bring up. This was a little different for me to see him in this ring gear, because for someone that's trying to tell us that Cody Rhodes is dead, this is the most Cody-looking outfit that Stardust has ever worn.
Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense because I think what they're doing, basically, Cody's locked inside and he's trying to claw his way back out. So, maybe he's gonna start stripping. I mean, he had less face paint on than he usually does. He only had the pants and the gloves on, so it's slowly losing pieces of Stardust. But Stardust is fighting it off, and it was really nice. Cody played it. A lot of people didn't like this match. I thought this was one of the top matches of the night. It was really slow. I'll admit it was slow, but they were telling a story. They were telling a story, and that's what the best matches, in my opinion, are about. You could see that Cody was struggling. You could see that Goldust was struggling, trying to, you know, you need to bring Cody back. Get no more Stardust. Don't go down that road. And it was great storytelling, in my opinion.
It was really good storytelling, and plus you had the angst of Dusty without having to see Dusty all the time.
Yeah, we just
It
got a
was
couple camera shots of him backstage watching the match. That was it.
That was very good. The only thing, and I'll say not just about this match, but most of the matches, the refs were very, very off.
Yeah, I mean, we got the pin. Goldust got the pin, but it was almost like a weird. That wasn't supposed to be the actual finish to the match kind of thing. It was a very weak like 1, 2, 3, and
It,
both Goldust and Stardust kind of. It was kind of a slow reaction, like, oh, I guess it's over.
yeah, and so I don't know if it was supposed to happen or if the ref just screwed it up because he gave a 1 count, a 2 count, and then said ring the bell and never said three. Even JBL mentioned that he never said three. I think maybe the ref was a little antsy, and I could,
Yeah.
and I think it was supposed to finish that way, and I think they wanted Cody to kick out strong, so it looked like Goldust barely got him. But the way
Hmm.
the ref kind of screwed it up, it made it look like a screw job finish more than strong finish.
Yeah. And it was definitely a weird thing. Twitter was exploding about it. I know we were talking about it on our Facebook group. Cody did, or Stardust, he's Stardust. He did kick out, but it was a very weak kick out, and his
Mhm.
shoulders actually never got off the mat. I mean, he got his body up at the last 2nd, but unfortunately, the ref already did 3 hand hits on the mat.
Hmm.
He, like you said, he didn't announce 3. He just won. He hit the mat 3 times and had the bell rung. So it was just a little confusion for about 30 seconds. I was kind of like, is that it? Is that it? And unfortunately, they had a little talk in the ring. Goldust trying to help him, but nothing happened. Then it went backstage where Stardust later attacked Goldust, and looks like that's going to be going on. I wish they could have held this match off until WrestleMania, but it looks like we're going to get another rematch at WrestleMania.
And I think because they had Goldust win, Stardust is probably going to win this one at Mania. We'll have to see. Uh, I don't know. I mean, they only have about 34 days to build, so this one will be interesting. But it's what Goldust always wanted before he even came back this last time. He had a Twitter hashtag saying, Goldie versus Cody at Mania or whatever it was back then.
Yeah.
So for
I
this,
think
it's
they're
cool.
going to somehow set up some kind of they're going to add some kind of stipulation to it. And I think it could possibly be a last run for Goldust, maybe even a possible retirement match at WrestleMania.
And I think that would be really cool. And this would be a nice run for Goldust to end on. He's healthy. He's had a few championships this run, and he's kind of evolved his character enough where he can leave in good conscience, and he's not getting kicked out because of drugs or alcohol this time. I mean, this is great. And I would love for that to be a stipulation here in about a month or less. But we'll have to see if they do any more. The only next thing I can see on Raw tonight, we may see. I'm wondering if he's going to end up hitting Stardust, that is, at any time.
Yeah, I think there will be some kind of altercation there for sure, just to really help add more fuel to this storyline that they're building. Because there's not much else you can do. I mean, what else can you do to make this any more interesting? The dad's trying to help both sides. Eventually, the dad's going to probably just side with Goldust. But how do you do that? Have Stardust attack him.
Yeah. Now, there is a lot of fuel and videos to make a great video package out of this feud.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I think that's probably going to be where the editors really show their magic at Mania.
Sorry to my dogs.
That's okay. Mine's whining to go on a W here in a bit. So, okay. Let's see now. Now, I'm trying to think if we want to go in the Cena match or talk about the 2 big announcements that were made. Let's start with Sting. We've been talking about Sting for a while here.
All right.
Okay.
I will start with this one, I guess. So we had Triple H come out. He didn't come out in his corporate clothes. He came out and he looked like he was ready to brawl. For supposedly having a face-to-face meeting, I wouldn't want to have a face-to-face meeting with somebody with taped up hands, jeans, the tough man biker jacket. But basically, he came out there, called Sting out. Sting came out with a new little type of entrance. Basically, Triple H just kind of mocked everything that Sting stood for, that he put WCW out of business, I put you out of business, my legacy is better than yours. That was what provoked Sting.
And I was kind of hoping, though I do love Silent Sting, I really do. One of my favorites is Silent Crow Sting. I wish he would have talked just a little bit, just to say it has nothing to do, because it has nothing to do with WCW. And there was too many cheers from old school WWF guys like, you started this, Sting, you and Chad Turner. That loud guy near the camera ticked me off so much.
Especially during that segment, but there was other parts of the night. You could hear that one guy all night long being picked up on the mic.
Oh my gosh. And I don't know if he was near the hard cam or where he was, but he got picked up in every single segment, every single match. I wanted to hit my screen. He drove me nuts.
Yeah.
He ruined this segment for me.
So yeah, Triple H provoked Sting. Basically, Sting was being silent, not answering him. Triple H tried to go for the strike. Sting was ready for it, countered it. They kind of had a little scrap where Triple H got the better of him. Triple H went under the ring to get his trademark sledgehammer, and Sting responds with the baseball bat. Finally, he brings the bat out, and he cornered Triple H right into that corner. Triple H was scared, looked like he was about to pee himself. And then, of course, they did the trademark look up at the WrestleMania sign. And that's all we needed right there. And then we got our answer. He kind of challenged him. And we got a little message a little bit later that Triple H accepted the challenge, and it's on at WrestleMania 31.
Which I was completely okay with all that, but I laugh every time when somebody points at the sign and the other person has this puzzled look like, what are you pointing at?
Is there a bird up there?
Oh, I know. And what's even funnier is he's supposed to be the man in charge, and he doesn't even know what's hanging behind him.
Yeah.
But
it was really cool because Sting kept nudging the baseball bat just harder and harder into Triple H's, throat and chin area. He's like, "What do you say? What do you say? Here we go. This is what you want."
Yeah, he did speak to Triple. He did speak to Triple H off mic. It was something like, "See you then," or "We'll settle it then." Something to that effect. They made sure not to have the camera mic near Sting on that one. I believe because they pulled back once he started talking. They pulled back to the other manual camera guy that was near the ramp. But it was interesting to see. I really thought that was a good confrontation. Just let Triple H talk, and then I'll beat you down.
Yeah, it was nice. And that's our first confirmed match for WrestleMania is Sting versus Triple H. Do you think we're going to see Sting on Raw tonight?
I don't think so. I think you keep it sporadic. I think you replay that clip. You have Triple H talk about it again, but I don't think you have Sting come out. I'm
just curious how long they're going to keep him silent, Like you said, I kind of wish he talked just a tiny bit.
Yeah, well, another thing they could do instead of have him talk is have one of those cryptic video promos again, where like he re-edits Triple H's words and talk about, it's not about WCW, it's about you and me. Any of those things could be done tonight with just a video package. But I don't know. We'll have to see tonight, but I'm pretty sure it's just going to be Triple H. And that's fine. Yeah. And that's fine. You know what? We'll get to the other announcement here in just a bit, but first, let's talk about the Cena match, shall we? What did you think about this match?
I did not think it was that bad of a match. I mean, it started off super slow, but the last third of that match or so had me on the end of my seat. And I hate saying that because it's a John Cena match, but it reminded me a lot of Money in the Bank, CM Punk, John Cena. They was back and forth, kicking out of each other's big power moves, and I was on the edge of my seat the last bit of it. Started off slow. Typical ending. I thought that's the way it was going to end, with Lana being a distraction. I didn't see it Rusev being that dirty, because Lana distracted the ref. Rusev went in for that low blow. Basically, Cena was passed out and lost due to submission.
Yeah, which, I mean, he was basically passed out because it hurt so bad to get hit in the nuts. Which I love how each WWE superstar takes that differently. Either I'm just going to go down to my knees and have my eyes bulge out, or I'm just literally going to pass out. That's okay. I mean, he did get kicked in the head, but still it was kind of a different way. And a lot of people had problems with this match. A lot of people had a lot of problems with the pay-per-view and tied it to this match. But this pay-per-view, granted this is the first time we've had it called FastLane, but really even eliminate kind of just a building pay-per-view. Now, people could argue there wasn't a whole lot built, but usually this one has the bad guys going over 100%.
Right.
And outside of Randy showing up and Sting having a little deal, that was about the only face stuff that happened. I mean, I guess Goldust went over, but Stardust got the last laugh.
Right. Like I said, a lot of people were kind of disappointed in this pay-per-view. It was what I was expecting. Like I said, I was actually expecting a little bit less from the John Cena match, but I was actually pleased with it. I mean, sure, it was a short little build up to it and everything, but now looks like we're obviously going to have a rematch again at WrestleMania. I'm sure we'll get more into the Russia versus America side of it. The crowd was really into the match. They, but even during the entrances, all the way from the entrances to the finish of the match, that the crowd was into it. It was over with that crowd. A lot of internet people complained, but myself, I was actually pleased with the match. And I'm looking, even though we know that Cena is probably it's gonna be a rematch, and Cena's probably gonna win.
Yeah.
I'm still looking forward to the match.
Well, I'm looking forward to it for a few reasons. One, they did really well. And I think this is the only time we've really seen Rusev shine more than just a monster. And I don't know if that was Cena helping him out or we actually got to see some of his talent. But it made me feel positive about what's going to happen to Rusev after he loses to Cena.
Right.
Because that's what I think is going to happen at Mania. He's not going to be the average Russian that teams with Santino.
I saw that meme.
Yeah, that was a perfect meme. Oh, I'm gonna make you lose. You're gonna be tagging with Santino in 6 months. It like for
I
me,
will say this: the match was good. I liked the match. It was better than I thought it was gonna be. But I came off a little bitter from it just because of what you would say was more of a rookie mistake. Not necessarily so much the superstars as it is the cameramen. The superstars talking during the match, talking things out. John Cena, you can hear him through the entire match telling Rusev, okay, this is what's happening. Are you okay? All right, I'm going to throw you into the rope. It was so loud. You could hear every word of it. You could see him talking. And it got to be so bad that at one point JBL even said, oh, John Cena's talking to himself. He's trying to plan things out. Trying to cover up for that obvious little thing. And John Cena, you are the guy. You should know better to try to not do that as much. It was a very rookie mistake, and it just it irked me a little bit.
Well, I mean, that for me always shows Cena's. I hate to say this about the guy, but his arrogance, because this is about the 13th, 14th time Cena's been caught on the mic being too loud. And it's been over his 12 years in the business in WWE. If you watch any of the Botchamania stuff, there's always at least 2 segments of Cena going, okay, now do this. I don't think he
did it through the entire match. It was just so bad. I'm like, geez, John, freaking put your face down on the mat, put your arm over your face, do something. But no, he would might as well just give him a goddamn microphone and let him do a little promo right there on camera as loud as you're talking.
I know. Well, he's done that before. A lot with greener guys, and I don't know if that's because he's uncomfortable because they're new, or if he wants to show, oh well, that match may have been good, but you saw how much I had to teach him, right?
Yeah.
I wonder that all the time. But the second thing that made me excited about this whole feud was, does this mean we're ready to see Cena go a little bit less out of the limelight if we're going to give him the U.S. Championship again?
Yeah. let's bring some glory back to those mid-card style belts. As John Cena going to be a reigning U.S. champion for the next few months. I'm right there with you. I think that it would be great for not only him but the belt, obviously, too.
And I think we've been starting to see this shift in the last few pay-per-views, last few Raws. While Cena's still a focus and probably always will be, he's not the main event. He's not the main story. Though I will say him last Raw kind of got under my nerves. Tried to tie himself into the Authority storyline, and this has nothing to do with the Authority. He mentioned like, well, they're sicking Rusev on me. They're not sicking him at all. You know, it's Rusev calling you out for being old.
Yeah.
And I think that's Cena trying to grasp on being in the limelight just a little bit more. But I think they're trying to weed him out ever so slowly. Maybe in a year from now, he'll be more kind of minor card, not middle card. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's definitely. I mean, he's got another good 4 years of prime wrestling condition at least. I'm sure we'll see him get another WWE World Heavyweight Championship 1 or 2 times. That'll really cement his legacy. I think they're just trying to fill in those smaller gaps, and let's get him another U.S. Championship belt run. Let's maybe even later down the road, maybe he gets a tag team partner and then he becomes a tag team champion.
I was just going to say that. I can definitely see him getting the tag team belts one more time. I do think you're right. I do think they're going to eventually have him break Flair's record, which is fine. Flair held it longer than anyone else ever has. So, and if that's what they have to do to cement his legacy, that's what they have to do. But I do feel like WWE is slowly but surely getting the limelight off of him and putting it on someone else. Now, let's talk about one more announcement before the main event. What did you think of this?
I flipped out. I mean, I kind of had a feeling it was going to be Bray. But like I said, I wasn't watching it with you. I was letting you know, oh my gosh, Blake, because I know you're such a Taker fan. The Druids were coming out, and I was like, oh my goodness, it's either going to be Taker or Bray. But here comes something that's obviously dealing with the two guys. And the Druids, we hear the bell tolls, they bring out a coffin to the ring, and then up comes Bray Wyatt. And he basically says he wants the Taker, he's ready to take his soul. He is the new monster of WWE. He is the new Phenom.
And yeah, that was interesting in how he also tried to kind of relate himself more into the supernatural. It's been hinted, but he was like, there's our world and your world, and he's in your world, and I have to bring him back. I thought that was interesting. And all of us kind of saw it coming, but the only thing that confused me was on Raw the week before he was building a coffin. Boy, that sure got a lot shinier than the wood he was nailing in.
Yeah. I loved, like, when he hopped up out of the, he had such a smug little grin, kind of laughed. I like the way, I'm a huge Bray Wyatt fan, and I thought the whole build up to this was great, and then, of course, the promo, the announcement last night of him calling Taker out was spot on. It was definitely a highlight of last night.
Mm-hmm. I would agree fully. And I like Bray too. I'm still not sure if he's worthy of Taker yet. I'm still not there yet. But the match could surprise me. I do, though this does fuel me to want to see Taker kick his butt. Even though they're probably going to put Bray over. I would assume.
Yeah, I have no idea, to be honest. Are they going to let him lose twice in a row, or is he going to get one more win out of this? I don't know, because really I don't want to see Taker fight, but it looks like it is going to happen. Next question is, when do you think Taker responds?
You know what? I would be cool if he didn't until Mania.
Yeah, I read that. I read a lot of comments, people talking about, oh, he'll be on Raw the next night, or no, he'll save it. I'd be completely fine. He did the same thing at WrestleMania 20.
Hmm.
He didn't show up until the actual WrestleMania, and I think that would be great to do right now. He's just gonna be silent. Bray's just gonna be waiting for him, and he'll respond at WrestleMania 31. We'll finally hear those bells toll.
And see, I would be super okay with that. I really would. Had Dean Ambrose not lit, or not had not tore up Bray's chair a few months back, and Bray had that promo, that was her chair. Da, 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 da. What I would have had done here in the next few weeks on Raw, have that chair appear while Bray's out on the ring, and then have it light on fire. And that could have been
That would have
Taker.
been nice.
And that would have been what I would have done
Yep.
for Taker's response.
But I think it was good, and as far as a stipulation to the match, if it does happen, which it probably is, and if this is going to be Taker's last match, whether win or lose, nice stipulation would be a casket match, I think.
a casket match, yes, I agree. Or maybe this is where we have the retirement clause put into effect. I don't know. What I would like to see happen is Taker win, but after he wins, Bray gets the last laugh and quote unquote takes his soul. And then we don't see him anymore. I don't know. The only reason I think Bray's gonna go over is there's nothing for Taker to do now. Like there's no reason for him to win. The streak's not there anymore. So if he wins, it really doesn't mean anything.
Right.
Other than I beat the guy that made fun of me, but that's not really Taker. So I don't know.
Yeah,
But
and
it'll be
then
interesting.
another cool thing that they could run with this, since they're talking about Taker being in different worlds now, maybe he doesn't come out as the dead man. Maybe he makes the return of the American Badass Taker, and he rolls out at WrestleMania on a Harley.
Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, I hate American Badass Taker. I really do. I can't stand it. I can't stand it because he was trying too hard to be Stone Cold, and that was my only thing.
All right, real quick, matches that I really didn't find too interesting from FastLane. We have the Divas match, Nikki versus Paige. It was okay. There just weren't any big spots, nothing to remember the match by. It was just a typical Raw Divas match, maybe just with an extra 3 minutes added to it. Nikki got the win with the dirty pin hanging onto, I guess, her pants and whatever. I don't ever see why they call that a dirty pin. I guess it gives them just a little bit more leverage for the pin.
Yeah.
But Nikki got the win. She keeps her belt.
Yeah, and then we also have the Dean Ambrose Wade Barrett match, which the ending reminds me a lot of the Stone Cold Rock Intercontinental, where Stone Cold would steal the belt or Rock would steal the belt, which that made me very happy that they're gonna kind of go that route. I think that's interesting.
Yeah, that was the best part. I mean, it was another. It seemed just as like a Raw match, you know. It was very short. Wade basically gave up, was trying to just take his belt and go home. Ambrose basically said, no, you're going to finish this match, and kept throwing him back in the ring, had him in the ropes and was just pounding on him, and the ref did a very weak 5 count and disqualified Ambrose. Ambrose wasn't pleased, so like you said, he just grabbed the belt, and he's basically taking that belt hostage. He thinks it's his. Which the ending of that match was the best part.
The ending was the best part. This is just another match where the ending was great, but I feel like they're never going to let Dean get a good win, it seems. And that's
It'll
okay.
happen at Mania. It'll happen at Mania.
And I think so too. And I think maybe that's what they're waiting for us to, just hold our breath for. And that's okay. But it's getting a little tiresome of, well, he's a badass, but he never gets his hand raised. It's different.
Right.
But I think you're right. We'll see that at Mania. Now, very last match. Very last match now, good sir. What did you think of this one?
This was a great match. Definitely proved to me and hopefully improved to everybody else that Roman Reigns can wrestle. He is worthy of a main event spot on WrestleMania 31 with Brock Lesnar. Matt, definitely the best match so far. Bray, or not, I keep saying Bray because you were saying Bray last time too. But definitely the best match of Roman Reigns' career so far. Uh, I give this match an easy 9 out of 10. It was a great storytelling, back and forth. The pace was great. And like I said, just proved that Roman Reigns earned his spot.
Roman was great. I'll say that right off the bat. But Daniel did a really good job. And to have Daniel go afterwards and poke him in the chest and very angrily say, you better kick his ass. I thought that was a good passing of the torch. And and we kind of saw this coming. I mean, there was many people in the internet community were, thinking it's probably going to be a three-way once again. But and we talked about that a little bit too. We tossed that idea around too. But for the most part, we kind of saw this as a proving ground for the internet community to see Roman, and he shined.
Yeah, he displayed awesome wrestling skills. There was, by both guys. I mean, we expected it from Daniel Bryan, but Daniel Bryan, he put a whooping on Roman Reigns. He was very physical with him. Lots of kicks, lots of just craziness. Roman Reigns went over 20 minutes and actually had to work his butt off. He didn't just kind of have to, oh, these guys are going to lay down for me. He had to work during that match, and it was definitely a highlight of his career.
I agree. And he's going to have to work that hard, not mechanically like he did with Daniel, but if you don't fight to 100% with Brock, he will throw you around and he will treat you like crap, and he doesn't care if it's on national television.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way Brock is. If he doesn't feel like you're showing him respect, he will destroy you and do it in a way that it doesn't look like you can recover. We've seen it before, and we could see it again. So he's going to have to keep that mentality of, I have to give 100%. Now, it's not going to be a mechanical match at WrestleMania at all.
No. Those are two powerhouses colliding at Mania. It's going to be a lot different match than what we saw at FastLane.
Though, my fear is it may be a little too slow.
We'll see. It could be Brock Lesnar matches are typically slow. Roman Reigns matches have typically been a little bit on the slower side until lately where they've been picking up. So we'll see how they're going to really work out this match between Lesnar and Roman at WrestleMania 31.
I agree. Now let's end on something fun, even though the last match was kind of fun. At Mania, good sir, do you see Roman winning and getting the briefcase cashed on him?
Oh man, I don't know, because we got the rumors of Lesnar signing new MMA contracts, possibly going back to UFC. I can't remember who it is, but I know there's a couple of UFC guys that WWE has invited to WrestleMania, so they're trying to get them on some kind of WWE contract of some sort. Can't remember who it is, but if Roman Reigns is going to win the championship, it's because Brock Lesnar. Oh man, I don't know.
We'll see if he stays, he could invoke a rematch clause, but I don't see him staying. And I don't think it's just because of the MMA. I feel like he's accomplished everything he wanted to accomplish once again.
I think so. I mean, I know on JR's blog and podcast that here lately, I mean, it was rumored that he was leaving, but JR could see him staying because he thinks Lesnar is actually really happy in WWE. However, I don't think he is going to stay either. I think the torch will be passed at WrestleMania. I don't see Rollins cashing in though. I think that'll come later.
Do you think that's going to be another the night after Mania?
I think that could be the night after Mania, if not the next pay-per-view, which is Extreme Rules.
Well, it could be. Though Roman would be someone I could see getting cashed in on and making it a little bit more believable. Even though he did try to cash it in on Brock, it just looked really goofy. But I don't know. It'll be interesting, but I would love to see a modern day WrestleMania cash in. I really would.
Yeah. So we got two known matches for WrestleMania 31 right now. We got Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the championship.
Mm-hmm.
We got Sting versus Triple H.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like we're probably going to have Cena and Rusev for sure. What else do you think is going to fill out that card in the next 30 days or so?
Dean versus Wade. I would assume, because what they can do for the next 34 days is show Dean just doing despicable things to that belt, and it'll be fantastic. And then I really do think we're going to have a Nikki versus Paige. I really do. I also think that it's going to be the Usos' revenge over Tyson and Cesaro, maybe with Rikishi at ringside. Those
Possibly.
now I don't know though, but that's kind of what I see happening. I don't know if we're going to have any payoff with Miz and Damian yet.
Yeah, I mean, we got a preview. They teased it again last night on Miz TV. He made Mizdow sit in the corner, and Mizdow was kind of being disobedient, but he kept, Miz would put him back in his place, and he'd listen. I think we're going to get a Miz versus Sandown match at Mania.
I would be very happy if we did. What I see them doing is seeing them wait until the night after, because they're going to have a stronger internet crowd that's going to cheer for Damian anyway.
That is true. Like I said, I don't know. I don't want to see Goldust versus Stardust again, but because like I said, they're gonna rehash a lot of these matches from Fastlane and just move them to WrestleMania 31 with maybe a stipulation added to it or something. And I didn't want to see that, but it looks like it might happen. We don't know yet. We still have Sheamus that's coming back. We're assuming he's going to be on the card somewhere. We got Daniel Bryan now. Where's he going to go? We got Dolph Ziggler. And right now, like you said, they're kind of teasing right now that Dolph Ziggler or Sheamus will have Bryan at Mania. I would preferably like to see Dolph Ziggler and Bryan.
We might, though a lot of those guys, just remember that they've been emphasizing that Cesaro won the first and Andre the Giant Battle Royale. So I think we're going to have a second one at so days. Really do.
I think so too. I mean, that'll help fill out a lot of spots. This card, it looks like it's actually going to be a pretty packed card because now we got Undertaker and Wyatt as well on that card. So those are some big matches. Sting, Triple H, Cena, Rusev, Taker, Wyatt, Lesnar, and Reigns already. Those are some big matches. You got to have the Divas probably on there with Nikki versus Paige. We're probably going to see a tag team match of some sort. Like I said, I think it'd be cool to maybe even see, like you said, a ladder match for the tag team championships, maybe even like a three-way ladder match for the tag team championships. Put three teams in there. Maybe the Ascension works their way up and they think they get a shot at WrestleMania.
Or last Monday night we kind of on Monday. So I think they may be in contention.
Hey, say that one more time. You broke up a little bit.
Oh, on Raw last week, we saw the kind of the reunion of Titus and Darren, the millions of dollars.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
I think maybe they could go to Mania, and I think they would have a nice, good crowd behind them too.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But I'm excited to have the $1 million dance back. I really am. I've missed it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people did. So it looks like WrestleMania 31 is shaping up to be pretty good. We'll see what happens, though. We still are about a month away.
We are. And Raw will be interesting tonight. We've talked a lot what we want to see on Raw tonight. So, Will, what I'm going to have you do to end it, I want you to honor newest Hall of Fame inductees, Bushwhackers, with your honorary Bushwhacker dance. Can you do it? Can you remember?
I can't do that. I cannot do the Bushwhacker dance. I forgot completely that they got announced today.
Is it the...
That's it.
Oh, that's
But congratulations to the Bushwhackers going in the Hall of Fame. We'll see a nice little segment for them tonight.
I think that's really good. I'm still holding out for Miss Elizabeth this WrestleMania, but we'll see if I'm wrong on that. But that'll be okay. So say your goodbye, Bushwhacker Luke.
Goodbye, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Well, mateys, we'll see you later.